Sacred Mysteries. Hello everyone and welcome to Sacred Mysteries Worldwide channel. I am your host, Reverend MignonGrayson, and you are in the Sacred Mystery School of Spiritual Learning. Today's video is a focus on how to make a spiritual bath with fresh herbs. Fresh herbs in and of themselves have a powerful, potent energy, and the fact that they are fresh and alive with this energy makes the baths extremely potent. Looking at the history of spiritual baths in different indigenous practices across the world, these spiritual baths are made with fresh herbs. Many spiritual baths are made with fresh herbs. Dried herbs is also an alternative if you don't have it, but the purpose of this video is for the fresh herb spiritual bath. My personal experience in learning how to make this has been as a devotee of the Orisha tradition and as an initiate of Mayombe. Baths of this type are used in ceremonies, initiations, and other spiritual purposes such as misas and which is a spiritual mass, and other particular group gatherings, as well as they are prescribed for people who come and get their information via divination, and a lot of times in the divination a spiritual bath is recommended. Spiritual baths on a regular are something that we should be doing to maintain our spiritual health. Just like with our physical bodies that need cleaning every day, our spiritual bodies need cleaning regularly. Personally, not every day, but perhaps weekly, every couple of weeks, monthly, or whenever you feel like it's necessary. You can make your own spiritual baths to do this for you. It's important that you know and that you are autonomous in some of the basic things of walking a spiritual path, and making a spiritual bath is one of them. This particular bath is made in a basin, or made to be in a basin or bowl, and the purpose of the bath is not to go into a bath of water. It is a bath that once it's made, it's either poured from the neck down, the front and the back of the body, or it's poured from the basin over the head down. Now it depends on what the bath is for, which one. A basic cleansing bath can be done from the neck down if you don't want to wet your hair, or from the head down. But other particular baths, you will know from the spiritual practitioner which way to do the bath. But you cleanse your body first, then you stand in the tub or shower and you commence to pour this bath over you in one of the two ways that I said, neck down, head down. Now the other thing is and then you want to dab yourself dry after that. Some people prescribe using a paper towel, and you dab it, you don't wipe it, and you semi let yourself air dry as much as you can, just so that the energy of the bath can kind of permeate. But it's not necessary, but that's an extra step for those who care to take it. Now what you see on the screen is a fresh herb bath made by a person who was in ceremony, and a lot of these baths are used in that way. Baths are normally stored, once you've made them, in spare containers. You don't have to buy specific containers. You can use a drinking water bottle or a washed out juice bottle or whatever to store it in the refrigerator, because it's fresh herbs. You want to store it in the fridge. What you will need for this particular bath today is a bunch of fresh mint, a bunch of fresh parsley, 8 cups of water approximately, depending on the size of the bowl, cascarilla, which is eggshell, powdered eggshell. It's also known as efun, essential oil of basil, essential oil of rose, holy water. These 3 things are optional. Florida water or Kananga water, large bowl, funnel, container. Now the thing about the essential oil of basil and essential oil of rose in particular is that that's not traditional. Essential oils are not traditional. What's usually used in place of essential oils is some type of cologne that you get from the Botanica spiritual supply store that's already pre-made. I prefer the essential oils because I know the energy is correct and it's potent. Now the other thing about it is that some baths don't require any fragrance at all, or any oil or cologne at all. So that is depending on you. If you don't like essential oils, you don't like the way they smell, don't worry about it. Don't put them in. The other herbs, the fresh herbs, is all that you need. And the holy water for me is optional. In some other people's houses, their spiritual houses, they recommend the holy water because of the Catholicism, the Christianity that is also embedded with Lucumi tradition. So holy water to me is optional, either or. If you have some, you get it from a church. Buying it from the store, a lot of people do from Botanicas. When you get it from a church, you know it's actually holy water. Not saying anything about Botanicas, but you just know what it is. Or if you're already a priest or a priestess or an ordained minister, you can actually make your own holy water. You just gotta research the techniques that go into making it. What you see on the screen here is a bunch of mint, a bunch of parsley. Those two herbs are very good for cleansing. Florida water, you also have some Florida water, some essential oil of basil, holy water, essential oil of rose, efum, African style, Nigerian style, cascarilla. Now we are ready to begin. Take your bowl and fill it with cool or cold water. Take the bunches of herbs and begin to take the leaves off gently, just pouring them into the water. You don't want much stems because the whole thing is that you're going to have to get the essence of the leaves into the water after you pull them off to the bowl. So you see, without the stems, both bunches are in that water right there. Now we're getting ready to go to work and to create. Now gently tear the leaves until you get the leaves to be extremely small, and you do this over and over again. And at the time that you're doing this, you're thinking about what needs to happen, what the bath is for. You're praying, you're talking to the herbs, asking for them to release their most potent energy into the water that is to be used for cleansing and uplifting purposes. And you take the little leaves that you've made and you roll them. You take a bunch of them and you roll them, as you see my hands. You roll them and you squeeze them, and and you squeeze it and you roll and you squeeze until you get most of the essence out. And that's the old school way. There's your basic batch that will be strained next. Now I want to say this is the old school way. Now a lot of people are just putting everything into the blender with some water, and then they strain it. But the old school way allows for time to focus on the intent, to pray and release ask the herbs to release their most potent energy, so that you're putting your personal ashe, your personal energy into this bath as well. It's all about, I spilled a little bit, but it's all about energy. And we're releasing the essence out of the herbs, and then now we're going to go and put in the cascarilla. I'm working with this cascarilla F1, also powdered eggshell. I like the one from the Botanica because it's a little easier to crush up than the one from Nigeria, but it's still, they both have the same essence. Now cascarilla is uplifting, high vibrational, purity energy. And then you add your Florida water, add your few drops of basil, a few drops of the rose oil, essential oil, and a little few drops of the holy water. And now your bath is complete and ready to use. If you're not ready at that moment in time to use your bath right away, you can take a funnel and pour it and store it in one of the bottles that you have, spare bottles around. In this particular case, I have rinsed out a juice bottle, and that is ready. So there's your funnel, there's your bottle, And I will now transfer the spiritual bath into that container for future use. I put it in the fridge so that because you have the fresh leaves, it will go bad. And there you have your final product ready to go. It's a vibrant green color. You know, if you saw it in person, you would be able to see how vibrant and green it is. And it is very refreshing to use. And so, as you see, it's not hard to make these spiritual baths. And it's at your disposal. So whenever you have, even if you have some fresh herbs, like you have some leftover parsley or some leftover mint, you know, instead of letting it go bad, make a spiritual bath and store it in your fridge. And also, the more alcohol that's in there, the more it will last. So if you put a lot of Florida water, or if you want to add some vodka to make it last a little longer, you can.